Welcome, beloved. I'm so glad you're here today. You didn't arrive here by accident. Something divine has drawn you into this moment, into this word, into this very message, prepared just for your spirit. Whether it's your first time listening, or you've been part of this prophetic journey with us for a while, you are deeply loved, seen, and valued. If you are new to this channel, I invite you now go ahead and subscribe to Prophetic Message and click that notification bell. We don't want you to miss any of the divine words that God is sending your way. Each message carries a piece of heaven meant to speak directly into your situation. And today's message, it's tender, powerful, and personal. I want you to comment these words right now in the chat or below the video. I believe. Say it in faith. Type it with trust. Declare it over your life. Now lean in closely, because what I'm about to tell you is something many wouldn't believe unless they were spiritually in tune. But you've been sensing something. You've been praying. You've been waiting. And this message is coming now, not only as confirmation, but as divine revelation. An angelic whisper from heaven says, your future spouse is shocked by what they just found out. Yes, shocked. Not in fear, not in doubt, but in awe, in realization, in conviction. In divine timing, God has just revealed something to their heart, something that has changed how they see you, how they see their future, and how they understand the spiritual connection between your souls. Let me tell you something sacred, something many miss. Before love becomes physical, emotional, or verbal, it becomes spiritual. God moves first in the spirit before he manifests in the natural. And right now, in a quiet moment that no one saw, something has awakened inside your future spouse. They've discovered something. It may have been through a dream, a sign, a conversation they didn't expect, a verse they couldn't ignore, stirring in their soul that they couldn't shake off. But whatever it was, it brought a holy disruption, a realization they never anticipated. They've realized you are not like the others. They've realized the connection they feel toward you is not infatuation, it's ordination. They've realized you are not just a good option. You are God's answer. And now they're re-evaluating everything, their past, their relationships, their behavior, their spiritual readiness, their ability to be the partner you deserve. Because when God begins to reveal purpose, everything changes. Let's go to the Word. Because the Bible tells us in Proverbs 18:22, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. There is a moment, yes, a holy moment, when a person recognizes not just someone they want, but someone God has ordained. And your future spouse is standing in that moment right now. They are feeling the weight of divine realization that it's not about appearance. It's not about timing. It's not about what you've done or what they've done. It's about the spiritual knowing that God is in this. God is bringing clarity where there was once confusion, vision where there was once hesitation, peace where there was once chaos. And that clarity is what's shocking your future spouse, because they were not expecting this to happen now. They may have tried to resist it. They may have buried themselves in distraction. They may have convinced themselves they weren't ready, but heaven interrupted their plans. And now they are being humbled because they're beginning to understand that this love, this connection, this covenant is bigger than what they imagined. It's not a fairy tale. It's a calling. Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope. Yes, God has a plan for your future spouse, and that plan includes you. God is not only aligning your heart for them, he is aligning their heart for you. This shock they're experiencing, it's not just emotional, it's spiritual. They are standing in the early stages of awakening. An awakening to their purpose, their assignment, their responsibility, not just in life, but in love. Some of you may be asking, but why now? Or why the shock? Why didn't they know sooner? Let me answer you tenderly. Because some hearts are slow to catch up to what the Spirit is saying. Your future spouse may have had walls up. They may have been wounded. They may have seen love fail in their family or experienced heartbreak that made them cautious. They may have thought they weren't capable of long-lasting love. Or maybe they were chasing what the world said was attractive instead of listening for God's whisper. But God, He knows when to reveal. He knows when to speak. And now, He has spoken. Something in your future spouse's soul has shifted. Something inside them now sees you differently. They may not fully understand what to do with it yet, but make no mistake, they have received the message. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? This new thing is springing up right now in their heart. It is being nurtured in secret, but soon it will bear fruit. Soon it will manifest in words, in action, in pursuit. Don't be discouraged if you haven't heard from them yet. Don't be anxious if you haven't seen the shift with your own eyes. When God speaks to a heart, it takes time for that revelation to grow roots. But it is growing. Your name is echoing in their spirit. Your presence is lingering in their thoughts. Your character is being remembered by their conscience. And every time they draw closer to God, the more clearly they will see you. Because you are not just someone to be desired, you are someone sent. An answer to a prayer they whispered long ago. A seed they may not remember sowing, but God never forgot. Matthew 6:33 says, "But seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you." Your future spouse has either just begun or is about to begin truly seeking God with a new urgency. And in that seeking, they will discover that love is not found in searching the world, but in aligning with heaven. God is preparing them. God is sanctifying their desires. God is separating them from distractions. God is positioning them for you. And this awareness, this holy shock, will cause them to reflect deeply, to recenter their intentions, to rethink what matters. There are moments in life when God chooses to disrupt the ordinary with something divine. And right now, your future spouse is living in one of those moments. It's not just another emotional phase. It's not just another romantic idea. It's not fleeting infatuation. It is a divine interruption. The realization that has come upon them has left their spirit stirred in a way they can't explain. They're feeling something that doesn't fit into logic, something that doesn't follow the patterns they're used. T.O. They've just seen a glimpse of what you carry, and they are completely taken aback. Because when God pulls back the veil, even just a little, and allows someone to see who you really are in Him, it becomes impossible to remain casual. Something shifts, and that's what's happening. They are shocked because they didn't expect this. They may have been praying for love, for companionship, for someone who understands, but they didn't expect you. They didn't expect someone with such grace, such spiritual depth, such inner strength, such intentional love. They didn't expect to find someone whose presence makes them want to become a better version of themselves. But now they've seen it, and their soul won't let it go. Isaiah 55:8-9 says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways." This is what's happening in your future spouse's life right now. God is lifting their vision. He's showing them that their idea of love was too small, too narrow. He's showing them a higher way away that includes purpose, prayer, peace, and power. They thought they were looking for compatibility, but God is giving them destiny. They thought they were waiting for the perfect person, but God is revealing the right one. And you, yes, you are that revelation. But this kind of clarity comes with responsibility. That's why they are shocked. Because deep down, they know that to walk with you will require transformation. Not perfection, but growth. Not pretending, but healing. Not possession, but partnership. They are beginning to understand that love is not just about what they can get, it's about who they must become. Your future spouse is seeing you in the Spirit now. They're seeing the anointing on your life, the favor you carry, the resilience in your heart, the way you pray, the way you walk through fire and don't smell like smoke, the way you forgive even when others don't say sorry, the way you love with holy patience. They are stunned, because suddenly they're asking themselves questions they didn't ask before. Am I ready for someone like that? Can I love them the way they deserve? What must I surrender to? Walk with this person into the future God has planned for us? This isn't fear, it's reverence, a holy awareness, a respect for the gift that you are. And that's what makes this different from anything they've ever experienced. You're not just someone they're drawn to. You're someone God is drawing them toward. Psalm 37:23 says, "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way." Right now, their steps are being ordered toward you, even if they don't fully understand it, even if they're still processing, even if they're trying to match the spiritual weight of this revelation with the emotional capacity to respond to it. Their path is being lit up, and you are at the end of it. The shock they're experiencing is not rooted in doubt. It's rooted in divine realization. They see now that this isn't just about two people falling in love. This is about two souls aligning with heaven's timing. They know something sacred has begun. And whether they are miles away or just a few feet from you, emotionally or physically, this revelation has become the turning point. From this moment forward, they will no longer see love the same way. They may try to explain it to someone, but human words will fall short. They may try to reason through it, but the Spirit will keep reminding them. They may try to go back to normal, but nothing will feel normal again, because once God shows someone the truth, they are forever changed. John 16:13 says, "But when He, the Spirit of truth, comes, He will guide you into all truth." And the Spirit of truth has come to your future spouse. That's why they're feeling what they're feeling. That's why they're processing things they never considered before. That's why they've paused. That's why they've begun asking deeper questions. They now know this connection is different. That it's not just attraction. It's not just timing. It's not even just compatibility. It's alignment. And now they are going before God like never before. They are praying prayers they've never prayed. They are seeking counsel in quiet ways. They are trying to make sense of what their spirit knows, but their mind is still catching up to. Because deep in their heart, they now know you are part of the assignment. You are not sent to fill a void. You are not sent to complete them. You are sent to walk beside them, to stand with them, to build something holy with them. And that awareness has brought with it a sense of urgency. Not panic, but urgency. They are no longer interested in wasting time. They are no longer entertained by counterfeit love. They are no longer content with shallow relationships. They are now longing for something eternal, something pure, something holy. You are the confirmation of something they didn't even know they were ready for. And now that they see it, they can't look away. They may need a moment to gather themselves. They may need space to adjust to this new reality. But let me reassure you, God is guiding the process. Your role in this season is not to chase, to push, or to worry. Your role is to continue being faithful, to stay in position, to remain prayerful, to keep your heart pure. Because when the time is right, their steps will lead them directly to you. And when they speak, when they finally tell you what God has, Shown them, you will hear the truth in their voice. You will see the humility in their eyes. You will feel the shift in the atmosphere. You'll know that this is not the result of feelings. This is the fruit of revelation. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." That includes you. That includes your love story. That includes your future spouse's journey. And yes, it even includes the shock they're feeling right now. God allowed this revelation to come suddenly, not to overwhelm them, but to awaken them. They needed this. They needed to see you in the light of heaven. They needed to understand the assignment. They needed to feel the weight of what it means to love someone chosen by God. And now, they do. So don't rush it. Don't try to force it. Don't lose faith in what heaven is doing just because you can't see every detail yet. Instead, pray for them. Cover them in grace. Intercede for their journey. Because what you do in private will bless your union in public. And when the moment comes, when the time is right, you'll stand face to face with the one who once sat in silence, stunned by what God had shown them. And they will say, "Now I understand. Now I see it. Now I know it's you." That moment is closer than you think. So hold on to hope. Hold on to joy. Hold on to faith. You may not see it right now, but the atmosphere around your future spouse is changing. The moment God opened their eyes, everything shifted. It may have started subtly, a single dream, a moment of silence when your name crossed their spirit, a wave of unexpected emotion while praying, but since then, things haven't been the same for them. There's something about you that now stands out in their heart, something divine, something they didn't notice before, or maybe were too distracted to fully see. But now it's undeniable, and they are shocked, not in a way that causes fear, but in a way that calls them deeper. They are being drawn to the truth, not just the truth about you, but the truth about themselves. Because when God reveals who someone is meant to love, He also reveals what that love requires. For many, this becomes the moment of decision, a divine line in the sand. The heart knows what it saw, the soul knows what it heard, but the person must now rise into alignment with what has been revealed. Right now, your future spouse is wrestling in a beautiful way. Not wrestling to escape, wrestling to surrender. Wrestling to say yes to the assignment. Wrestling to let go of past expectations, old soul ties, and fear of failure. They are beginning to grasp that your presence in their life is not just a blessing, it's a sacred responsibility. That's why the angelic realm is so active around them now. Your name has come up in heavenly places. Yes. Let that truth settle in your heart for a moment. Your name, your character, your spirit has been whispered in their prayer life, in their worship, in their alone moments. And the Spirit of God is amplifying what they once dismissed or didn't understand, because timing is everything. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens." And this is your season of revelation. This is the time when your future spouse is waking up. They're seeing not just who you are, but why you are. God is showing them that your presence is connected to their progress. Your love is tied to their purpose. Your gentleness is part of their healing. You were not assigned to them randomly. You are chosen for this soul. Now they can't shake it. Even in their daily activities, they sense something is different. There's a pulling, a yearning, a sudden deepening in their spirit. That's the shock. It's not panic. It's the weight of understanding that their heart was made for more, and now they've glimpsed what that more looks like, sounds like, and feels like. And it's you. Song of Solomon 3:4 says, "I have found the one whom my soul loves." That's the realization they're standing in. They may not say it out loud yet. They may not know how to approach it yet. But the knowledge is in them. The vision is before them. The conviction is building. Heaven is placing a holy unrest inside their spirit to make them act. to move, to align. For some of you, your future spouse is in a season of silence. You've felt distant from them. You may not have heard a word. You may not even know if they're praying like you are. But I want you to understand something. The silence is not empty. It is sacred. God often works in the hidden place before he manifests in the open. Just like a seed buried underground. What's growing in them is concealed right now, but it's growing, rooting, strengthening in their silence. God is speaking in their quiet moments. God is counseling in their isolation. God is preparing, because before they can be your spouse publicly, they must be prepared privately. They must be shaped, humbled, and refined. And that's what's happening now. Your future spouse is having conversations with God that have your name wrapped all over them. They are being shown dreams. They are being warned against distractions. Are being invited to become the kind of person who can protect what God is placing in their life. It's not just about them accepting you. It's about them becoming worthy of the promise. And trust this, heaven does not speak lightly. When an angel says, your future spouse is shocked by what they've just found out, it's not just for drama. It's because the realization was so sudden, so spiritual, so undeniable that it demanded their attention. It interrupted their pattern. It broke their rhythm. It caused them to sit still and wonder, could it really be them? Could God really be leading me here? And the answer, echoing in their heart, is yes. Yes. It's you. Yes. God is leading. Yes, this is real. Isaiah 30:21 says, whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way. Walk in it. That's the voice they're hearing now. They may have tried to date others. They may have tried to distract themselves with busyness. They may have assumed their love story would look different. But now, everything they thought they knew about relationships is being shaken. Because love ordained by God always looks different. It moves slower, but deeper. It requires more, but gives more. It doesn't start with butterflies. It starts with peace. And that peace, they now associate with you. You bring calm to their thoughts. You bring clarity to their prayers. You bring order to their chaos. You are the quiet they didn't know they needed. And now they're asking themselves, how do I prepare for someone like this? That's the inner work they're doing. That's why there's been delay. Because God is working on them before he works through them. They are not rejecting you. They are refining for you. They are trying to make sense of the responsibility this love brings. They are learning how to steward it well. Because this isn't just about attraction. It's about assignment. This isn't just about desire. It's about divine timing. This isn't just about connection. It's about covenant, and covenant requires character. God is building that in them. Even now, angels are surrounding them with messages, with warnings, with insight. They are being reminded of the moments you crossed paths. They are being made aware of how their spirit responded to your presence. There is something in you that resonates deeply with their soul, and they now realize that what they've been seeking has been in front of them, or near them, or already spiritually intertwined with them. And that's why they're shocked. They didn't expect God to make it so clear. They didn't expect the realization to come so suddenly. They didn't expect their heart to feel this way. But when God moves, he doesn't ask for permission. He reveals truth, and truth demands response. Your future spouse is now being prepared to respond. They're laying down fear. They're confronting insecurity. They're confronting their own immaturity. They're confessing past mistakes to God. They're drawing near to the throne with trembling and gratitude. And all of this, all of it, is connected to you. Because when God said, it's not good for man to be alone, he also said, I will make a helper suitable for him. Genesis 2:18. That word helper is not small. It means divine support. life companion, strength bringer. You are not just a romantic partner, you are a gift that multiplies strength. And that's what they're now realizing. They are beginning to understand the weight of having someone like you, and they don't want to mishandle it. They don't want to rush. They don't want to guess. They want to get it right. That's the shock they're feeling. It's the sudden weight of holy responsibility, because the love they are walking into is not ordinary. It is kingdom-designed, heaven-breathed, angel-guarded dot, and so it must be handled with wisdom. Proverbs 4:7 says, "Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting get understanding." So they're getting understanding. They're praying like never before. They're fasting quietly. They're seeking advice from those who walk closely with God. They're preparing. They're surrendering dot, and very soon they'll be speaking. You will hear their voice. You will hear their confession. You will hear the words, "I didn't know before, but now I see. I didn't understand, but now I do." And you will know that everything you waited for, everything you endured, everything you prayed over, it was worth it, that you are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not waiting in vain. Heaven is moving right now on your behalf. So lift your head, steady your heart. Trust what God is doing. There is something deeply sacred about the space between revelation and action. And that is the space your future spouse finds themselves in right now. They've received the revelation. God has shown them something that they cannot unsee. Their heart has been pierced by truth, and their soul awakened to a divine knowing. Now they're moving carefully, tenderly, thoughtfully, because they understand that what's happening is not casual, but eternal. The realization that you are the one ordained, anointed, divinely matched has humbled them. They're shocked, because they weren't ready for how real it would feel. They weren't prepared to feel such strong peace and clarity. They weren't expecting you to carry such spiritual depth. They weren't ready for love that feels like home, because they've never experienced it before. This is why the enemy tried so hard to distract them. This is why the delays happened. The adversary saw your potential connection. He saw the union forming in the heavens, and he tried to confuse it, tried to weaken it before it could manifest. But what God ordains, no force in hell can cancel. Job 42:2 says, "I know that you can do all things. No purpose of yours can be thwarted. Your union was written before time began. Your story has been inscribed in the mind of God. And though there have been detours and delays, this realization in your future spouse's heart is the beginning of its manifestation. You may not know this, but their heart is softening even now. The Spirit is whispering to them in the stillness. He's showing them flashes of the future, what joy would look like with you, what partnership would feel like with you, how peace would rest on their home with you in it. And in these moments of divine clarity, they weep. They weep because they recognize the magnitude of this gift. They weep because they feel unworthy of someone so spiritually aligned, someone so gracious, someone who has endured so much and still radiates love. They weep because they've wasted time. They've given energy to lesser loves. They've poured themselves into things and people that never carried the weight of destiny. But now they see clearly, and what they see is you. You are the answer to prayers they didn't know they prayed. You are the promise they thought would never come. You are the confirmation of God's faithfulness. That's why they're stunned. That's why they're silenced. The shock has settled into reverence. 1 Corinthians 2-9 tells us, "What no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no human mind has conceived, the things God has prepared for those who love Him." Your future spouse is finally glimpsing the thing their soul was made for, but could never articulate. And now, it's all starting to make sense. They're remembering conversations they had years ago, Moments where they longed for someone who would love them deeply, speak truth over them, walk with them in purpose. They didn't even believe someone like that existed. But God preserved you. God shielded you. God matured you. God planted you. God hid you, not to keep you from them, but to save you for them. And now they've discovered the truth of your existence. They've seen the reflection of God's love in your eyes. They've heard heaven's echo in your voice. They've tasted hope again through your presence. And they are undone. There's a holy hush in their life right now. People around them may not understand why they've gone quiet, why they've pulled away from old patterns, why they seem more reflective, more prayerful, more intentional. But you'll know, because they've been touched by revelation. They've just found out that God wasn't silent, He was preparing. They've realized that while they were wandering, God was writing. They've recognized that you were not just someone to be desired, you are someone to be discovered. Isaiah 60:22 says, "When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen." This is that time. The angel of the Lord has gone before them, preparing their heart to fully accept what God has whispered. And now, your future spouse is no longer content with temporary. They want what's eternal. They want you. They're making decisions you don't even see yet. They're cutting off ties. They're closing doors. They're deleting distractions. They're listening more carefully. They're seeking wisdom more desperately, because their soul is waking up to the responsibility of being. With you, they know they can't just show up casually. They can't bring old habits into this new season. They can't take what's holy and treat it like it's common. You are not common. You are not replaceable. You are not a placeholder. Are not one of many. You are the one God chose, and they are beginning to treasure you accordingly. Even if their words haven't reached you yet, their heart is being positioned. Even if their feet haven't taken the step toward you, their spirit is aligned. Because God doesn't just connect people, He prepares them to meet. And this preparation is almost complete. For some of you, the reason your own soul has been feeling a new level of peace, of anticipation, of stillness, is because you're sensing it too. You're being synchronized with them in the Spirit. Your prayers are reaching them. Your obedience is drawing them closer. Your hope is pulling heaven's timing into now. Do not think your faith is being wasted. Galatians 6-9 tells us, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." You are almost at that proper time. And your future spouse? They are preparing the field. They are putting down their pride. They are asking forgiveness, not only from God, but from themselves. They are seeking healing from past wounds, so they don't carry that pain into the blessing. They are examining their motives. And above all, they are repenting for the times they ignored what heaven was trying to show them. This is not surface-level emotion. This is soul-level conviction. Their entire perspective is being renewed. They are not just asking, "Do I love this person?" They are now asking, "Am I ready to build a life with them that honors God?" That's the difference. And that is the effect of divine revelation. When angels speak, hearts listen. And now, it's your turn to prepare. Not with worry, not with desperation, but with peace. With joy, with expectancy. Because just as God is preparing them, He is also preparing you for the weight of the love you're about to carry. You won't just be loved, you'll be led by love. You won't just be chosen, you'll be honored. You won't just be partnered, you'll be pursued. Because this love isn't ordinary. This love is rooted in Christ. And what is rooted in Christ will bear fruit in season. Psalm 1-3 says, "They are like trees planted along the riverbank, bearing fruit each season. Their leaves never wither, and they prosper in all they do." Your relationship will prosper, not because of perfection, but because of purpose. Your marriage will flourish, not because of what you've both done right, but because of who God is. He is faithful. He is watching over his word to perform it. And right now, he is watching over your story. Angels are moving on your behalf. They are guiding conversations. They are stirring memories. They are bringing closure to old chapters. They are aligning schedules and plans. They are guarding against the enemy's schemes. They are ministering to your future spouse in the midnight hours. And very soon, sooner than you expect, the one God revealed to you will stand before you and say, I didn't know what I was missing until I heard God whisper your name. I didn't understand what love really was until I saw the way you love him. I wasn't ready before, but now I know. It's always been you. When that moment comes, you'll remember this message. You'll remember this season. You'll remember the waiting, the tears, the long nights of prayer. And it will all make sense, because God is not just writing your story. He is also preparing the heart who will walk through every page with you. So breathe deeply. Smile gently. Hope boldly. Your love story is unfolding. Your future spouse is going through a spiritual awakening right now, one that is reshaping how they view you themselves and what love truly means. The shock they feel is not rooted in fear or doubt. It's rooted in the sudden, undeniable realization that this connection is God ordained. It's not casual. It's not common. It's been carefully written by the hand of the Creator, and that knowledge has changed them. They once thought love was about feelings, chemistry, and surface level connection. But now they're learning that real love, the kind God authors, is built on covenant, alignment, and divine calling. And that calling has led them straight to you. That's why they can't look at you the same anymore. That's why they can't shake your name from their spirit. That's why, even in their daily routine, the thought of you keeps rising like a quiet voice, whispering truth into their heart. This is who I made for you. Yes, beloved, they've just found out who you really are. They've seen beyond your smile, beyond your outer appearance, beyond your past, beyond your silence. They've seen your spirit, and they are shocked because what they see is holy. They see a person who has been broken but healed, tested but not bitter, refined by fire, and still full of love. They see someone who has walked through pain with grace, someone who has prayed through midnight tears, someone who has refused to settle for anything less than what God has promised. They see you fully, clearly, truthfully, and it's changing the way they approach everything. They no longer want a relationship that just looks good. They want one that feels anointed. They want one where peace leads the way, where Christ is the foundation, where laughter is holy and silence is sacred. They're not looking for a perfect person. They're ready for a purposeful union. That's what you bring, and that's why they're stunned. Because until now, they didn't think someone like you existed. They thought they'd have to choose between spiritual depth and emotional connection, between attraction and alignment, between peace and passion. But with you, God is showing them they don't have to compromise. They can have both. Because when God writes the love story, it doesn't compete, it complements. Romans 8:28 says, and we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. This union, your union, is part of that purpose. That's why all things are working together right now. Even the things that felt confusing or delayed. Even the long waiting seasons. Even the heartbreaks. Even the years of silence. Every piece has led to this realization. And now, your future spouse is no longer confused. They're just careful. They want to get it right. They want to approach you with the respect and reverence that your heart deserves. They're not preparing an emotional speech. They're preparing a spiritual foundation. They're not rushing to impress you. They're allowing God to refine them, to shape their character, so they don't mishandle your heart when it's finally placed in their hands. You see, they may have had many relationships before. They may have been close to settling. But the moment they saw you through spiritual eyes, everything they thought they wanted fell apart. Because the truth is, nothing compares to being loved by someone God appointed, and they now know you are not a random connection. You are a divine covenant. Proverbs 18:22 says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord." They have found something good in you, and favor is rising over them because of it. Now they must walk carefully. Now they must respond in obedience. Now they must release anything that could delay what God is trying to bring together. They're laying down fear. They're surrendering pride. They're opening their heart to vulnerability, because God has shown them that in order to love you the way you deserve, they must love Him deeper first. You see, their shock is not just about who you are. It's also about who they're not yet. They've realized that to stand beside you, they must rise into who they were always meant to be. That revelation has shaken them in a good way. Matthew 6:33 says, "But seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you." Your future spouse is now seeking the kingdom, not just so they can have you, but so they can become worthy of what's been revealed. And as they seek, heaven is aligning your hearts. You may feel distant now. You may wonder if they even think about you. But I need you to know your name has been written on their heart, even if they've never spoken it, even if they've never confessed it, even if they're still silent. You are with them, because love like this divine love doesn't start with the lips. It starts in the spirit. Their spirit knows yours. Their heart recognizes your frequency. And as they draw closer to God, they're hearing your name more clearly. And one day soon, they won't just hear it. They'll say it out loud. With trembling, with reverence. With joy, because they will know you are the one God prepared for them. And you'll know it too. When they look at you, they'll look with clarity. When they speak to you, their words will carry the weight of heaven's timing. When they touch your hand, you'll feel years of prayer collapsing into one divine moment of divine fulfillment. This love will be worth the wait. This love will feel like healing. This love will require both of you to grow, but it will never ask you to shrink. Because this love is God-breathed. You'll no longer question if you're lovable. You'll no longer wonder if you missed your chance. You'll no longer cry alone, asking heaven if someone is out there who truly sees you. They see you now, and soon they'll say it. They'll show it. They'll live it. So keep believing. Keep preparing. Keep your heart open and your spirit sensitive. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to settle. This is the time to rise. Because heaven is still speaking, and the angels are still whispering your name to the one who's been called to love you. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." God is doing a new thing. He's restoring what was broken. He's redeeming the lost years. He's renewing hope. He's building the bridge between you and your future spouse. Even now, your names are being linked in the Spirit. Even now, God is releasing dreams and signs and confirmations. Even now, your paths are beginning to cross, even if subtly, even if spiritually first. Revelation they received about you was only the beginning. The journey of becoming who they need to be to honor you, that's the work they're in now. And that's why you haven't seen their all picture yet, because God is still painting it. But it's almost done. The canvas is almost complete. And when they come into your life again, or for the first time, they'll come not just with love, but with intention, not just with feelings, but with faith. Not just with dreams, but with direction. Because they'll know God revealed you. And that revelation changed everything. There's something else you need to know, and it's important. Not just for your heart, but for your understanding of what God is doing in your life. You may feel like you've been standing still, like things around you are moving for others' love, is blooming for them, doors are opening for them, relationships are forming for them, while you wait and wonder why nothing seems to change. But in the Spirit, something has changed. The moment your future spouse received the revelation, something shifted. You couldn't see it in the natural. It didn't come with fireworks or announcements. It wasn't posted on social media, but it was real. Heaven marked that moment. The angels recorded it. A turning point was declared in your timeline because your name was spoken in a sacred way. Not in gossip, not in confusion, but in divine clarity. The kind of clarity that rewires a person's thinking. The kind of clarity that brings maturity. Kind of clarity that leads to movement. You may not feel it yet, but they're being drawn to you right now. Not because of your looks, not because of performance, but because of the divine signature over your life. That's the real shock for them. They've never seen someone carry purpose with such quiet strength. They've never encountered a soul who didn't chase validation, but walked in peace. They've never met someone who didn't just quote scripture, but lived it. And in seeing you, they've also seen what love could actually be like, what it should have always been: peaceful, safe, faith-filled, joyful, honest, pure. You didn't have to perform to show that. You didn't have to try to be enough. You were just being you. And the Spirit used even your silence to speak loudly to them. That's the beauty of what God is doing. You're not just an answer to their loneliness. You're the key to their next level of growth, healing, and calling. And they're beginning to understand that choosing you isn't just about affection. It's about obedience. God is teaching them that this love requires responsibility. It requires showing up even when it's hard. It requires apologizing without ego. It requires protecting you in prayer. It requires loving you through storms. Not just on sunny days. And they're learning it. They're taking it seriously now. They're not just excited about you. They're convicted. And that's the kind of love that lasts. Because excitement fades. Chemistry fades. But conviction? Conviction holds steady through pressure. And your future spouse is being restructured from the inside out by this conviction. They're not telling anyone everything just yet, not because they're unsure, but because this is too sacred to rush. They want to be wise. They want to be Spirit-led. They want to approach you not with emotional impulsiveness, but with spiritual readiness. And God is honoring that. God is rewarding their hunger for truth. He's giving them dreams. He's sending confirmations. He's raising voices to counsel them, even when they're not asking for advice. Because the Lord is serious about this union. And here's the part you may not expect. Your spouse's shock is also tied to how long they've waited. Because before this moment, they were starting to believe that this kind of love, the kind that stirs their soul, grows their spirit, and brings peace to their mind, was just a fantasy. They've seen counterfeits. They've had options that looked good on paper. They've had people praise their name, but never understood their soul. And when God revealed you, all of that was exposed. They realized how easy it is to settle when you haven't yet seen what's possible. Now, they've seen you, and they can't unsee it. Their vision has been upgraded. And now, their standards have risen to meet the revelation. They can't go back to lukewarm. They can't go back to half-interested. They can't go back to people who want access to their life, but don't have the character to stay in it. Because when you walked into their awareness, even if it was just spiritually, it lit something up in them. And that fire is not going out. It's burning through fear. Burning through ego, burning through compromise, burning through any residue of old. Soul ties or confusion. This is the cleansing season. God is cleansing both of you, because He wants nothing attached to you when you come together that would poison the purity of this love. And yes, it will be pure. You've cried for it. You've waited for it. You've fought to protect your heart for it. You've walked away from good-looking but wrong-timed, from emotionally stirring but spiritually draining, from temporary but toxic, because deep down you knew God was preparing something different for you. And now that different is being revealed. But I need you to hear this clearly. Don't get anxious about the timeline. Don't try to force a moment that only God can ordain. Yes, they're coming. Yes. They know now. Yes, they're preparing. But so are you. God is not just answering your prayer. He's preparing you to be an answer to theirs. They're asking God for peace, and He's giving them you. They're asking for wisdom, and He's giving them someone who's been sharpened by trials. They're asking for someone to laugh with, grow with, fight for, and He's giving them someone who won't give up when it gets hard. They're asking for someone to do purpose with, and God is saying, just wait. I'm not finished preparing them yet. That's the word right now. I'm not finished. God is not finished with you. Not finished healing that scar from the last disappointment. Not finished clearing the residue of fear. Not finished training your spirit to trust again. Not finished enlarging your heart to receive the kind of love that's coming. Because yes, it's bigger than you thought, softer than you expected, stronger than you've ever known. It's not just an answer to loneliness. It's a reward for faithfulness. Isaiah 40:31 says, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. You're about to run into a new season, and you will not faint, because this time the one who finds you won't fumble you. They'll see the value. They'll feel the assignment. They'll know it's holy. And more importantly, they'll act accordingly. Your season of over-explaining is over. Your season of questioning your worth is over. Your season of wondering if they'll choose you is over. You've already been chosen. First by God, then by the one who now sees you through His eyes. So take a breath. And as this video draws to a close, I want to ask you something simple but important. Will you trust Him? Not just with the promise, but with the process? Will you believe again? Will you hope again? Will you soften your heart to the idea that just maybe this is finally your time? If you feel that in your spirit, if you've been feeling it this whole message, don't leave in silence. Drop this phrase in the comments as a testimony of faith, blessed and ready. And say it aloud to yourself as you rise. I am blessed. I am ready. I am becoming who I was made to be. Now do this with me, like this video. You are not just supporting this message, you are helping place it into the hands of others who need this divine reassurance. Someone else's breakthrough could be one click away. Then share this video. Don't keep it to yourself. A sister, a brother, a cousin, a friend. Someone out there has also been crying out for confirmation. Be the messenger that passes on this prophetic word to their life. And finally, subscribe to Prophetic Message and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next word from heaven. There is more coming. There are more revelations, more promises, more prophetic insight. And I promise you this, the same God who gave this word to comfort you is the same God who is holding your love story in His hands. It's safe there. It's sacred there. And it's soon. God bless you, truly. And come back for more videos like this. We're only just beginning.